Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to Hearthstone. Another live stream is going on. We need to play 50 warrior class cards and then get 4 victories with the priest and warlock. So let's do the warrior class cards. We've got this, I think the weapons is the best way to play here for that. We've got the Midsummer Fire Festival, which is the more globalized version in World of Warcraft or Hearthstone of 4th of July, the United States 4th of July. I guess it's everybody's 4th of July, but only the United States celebrates as its Independence Day. Although there's very possibly maybe 2 or 3 other countries that happen to have an Independence Day on the 4th of July too. So, yeah, I was talking about how weird Life is Strange is as I'm trying to play that game and get through it. It's certainly nowhere as bad as playing Broken Sword 5. Broken Sword 5 was an incredibly painful game to play. And every time I played it, I felt like the 30 minutes that I had spent playing felt like 3 hours. And I kept saying, and when I looked back at how many episodes I really recorded, every single episode I was thinking, man, it's gotta have been 5 hours now. It probably had only been 2.5 hours when I was saying it was 5 hours. I feel like it just constantly was making it difficult to want to play that game. And I saw other reviews that said the exact same thing, and it's kind of amazing that Broken Sword 5 was able to make a game so painful to play. I would have argued that that was not possible at all, but it seems like it is. But so now I'm playing Life is Strange. Life is Strange has some problems. Playing as a teenage girl that I immediately don't relate to, and then having her be somebody who abandoned her friend for 5 years, and then come back and see see our friend is a total mess. Because she was abandoned, or at least in part because she was abandoned, just makes me dislike the main character even more. Now, it's not entirely unrealistic that people would move to a different school and not talk to their friends, their old friends. It's very common, I imagine, for kids. So I do have to balance my thought there, but that doesn't fully work with me. It still feels like she wasn't a very good friend. Let's see. This will be interesting because I'll play this, do 2 attacks, and then see if I get tentacles permanently from now on. Job's done. And then we were talking about why it seemed very odd that they decided to have a shower scene in episode 2 of this 18-year-old girl. They don't show anything, but it's still there. And in the same way, they have interactable tampon dispensers in 2 places, and you can go up to them and look at them, and she says, "I'm good to flow," and I'm like, why did you even make that interactable when there's hundreds of other things that are in this game that you simply just can't interact with? So it seems silly. Okay, so this is going to be permanent attack times 2. Let's do this one next. And it just seems like that's something that you could have. I don't mind them being there. I just don't think you needed to write a terrible line of dialogue and make them interactable. And then the game sort of feels like it has some lesbian overtones. Maybe I'm just putting that in myself. But Max, the main character Max, as far as I can tell, is trying to establish the beginning of a relationship with a male character called Warren, while getting basically pulled into bad actions by her old friend who she abandoned. But her old friend replaced Max with another friend who is now missing, that maybe her old friend and the replacement friend did have some kind of romantic overtones going on. I don't know. It's very possible, and I imagine it will be said more. At the end of the day, the story still is kind of weird because you're talking about the main character is 18 now. She left her best friend 5 years before, so you're talking 13 then. So it's all going into the wrong direction as far as age ranges. Leaving Life is Strange alone, I'll probably have a lot more to say about it once I finish it. And then I can move on to the next game, and then move on to the next game, and move on to the next game. That's my life. I took a lot of 4th of July off, though, because, well, I was pretty sure there was going to be a lot of people that were simply going to want to shoot off fireworks, and because of that, let's go ahead and end the turn. We're gonna lose here. So yeah, a lot of people were gonna shoot off fireworks, and then that was gonna disturb it. There was a big rainstorm, and so one day I was having power outages all day, and the power outages caused the internet outage to happen, because it always seems to for me. I'm lucky I'm even streaming today. So since the internet was out, I got the bright idea that that would be the perfect time to try to upgrade my DDWRT router firmware, and the latest beta totally screwed up everything, and I spent about an hour hitting the wireless protected setup button on my router because it's set up above my head, so I couldn't see what button I was pushing. So I kept pressing that, thinking I was resetting the router, and I wasn't, for about an hour, and I was happy to find out that was the case, because otherwise I thought I totally ruined the router and was not going to be able to fix it at all, which is brand new, so that's certainly not something I want to do. Let's see if we go to the other warrior. I think if I go with the other warriors, I'm not actually playing warrior cards, so I'm going to just stick with this. But the latest beta version of the software totally breaks the web interface, so you can't even get back in it. So I had to erase all the settings and then go back to the old version and then reload from a backup. And frankly, the beta version that I'm using, that's not the most latest beta version, does get the Wi-Fi to work. I've been using it for about a week on just one device, and now I'm well enough to it that I'm willing to let the rest of my network try it, and we'll see if anything happens there. But so yeah, I spent most of yesterday messing with the router instead of recording, which is not good. This is how I fall behind. I overcommit and I underdeliver as far as video game footage, and I need to do the exact opposite of that. Let's go ahead and do this. And the turn. moving on with the news, Uppercut Games is a new company, or not a new company actually, but it's the new name of a bunch of Irrational Games veterans. So people who worked on BioShock that didn't go with Ken Levine and his small team to Ghost Stories Games, I think is the name of his company. So Irrational Games basically just got broken up after BioShock Infinite, although I wouldn't be surprised if it started getting broken up after BioShock 1. BioShock 2 was made by a different company. And the people that didn't go with Ken Levine apparently went to Uppercut Games, which is not the best name. And they've announced a new game called City of Brass, which is a first-person Arabian Nights roguelike. Well, if it's a roguelike, that's better than what... Yeah, I've seen some Arabian Nights themed games that were in MOBAs or MMOs, and that wasn't going to work. But they also made the game Submerged, which Submerged has a special place in my heart, kind of, because it's a game I've been wanting to play for over a year now, and I just bought it this summer sale. I had to really make a special effort to buy it because it wasn't really on sale enough, but I do want to play it. It got some game coverage, but not a lot. It's a short game. And just it's something I would like to cover because it's not really a indie game, but it's also not really one of these AAA games that everybody knows about too. And as the world fills with more and more video games, it's easily going to be forgotten. I imagine a lot of people don't even remember Submerged. Also, the name's not great because around that time a game called Salt came out, and every time I would think about it, I would think to myself, is this the game I want to play, or is it Salt, or is it a different game? We'll play this and irritate him. I gave him a better weapon. He'll probably just say thanks. Shadow of Mordor has added an update to allow your worst nemesis and followers to transfer over to a sequel. I relatively recently have played Shadow of Mordor, and I don't remember any of my followers or nemesis. So, like, I guess that's fine. I guess when I go play Shadow of War, whenever that is, I'll transfer the things over, but it's not going to be that impactful, and I imagine they're not going to be the main story characters anyways. Like, there was only one follower, one helper that was actually in the game, and had a live conversation, and I imagine he's not going to transfer over. If you have a minion with taunt, gain 1 durability, death rattle.
Job's done.
Another game is coming out September 29th in the US and the EU, so that's one of those rare cases. It's called Gundam Versus. These announcements are all mixed up. It is also worth mentioning that there was a ton of, I imagine, Japan Expo 2017 announcements of games that were Japanese only, and I didn't bother to mention any of them. I don't really see, as an English-speaking channel, I don't really see the purpose of teasing 90% of my audience, if not much more, if not 100% of my audience, with games that very possibly will never come to the West and probably aren't worth importing. Like, I don't think we're ever gonna get to the point where where people say, yeah, totally spend the massive amount of money it would cost to reverse import or just import a game from Japan to the West and then have a Japanese account so you can play it and everything will work. There's no game overs in Mario Odyssey. I think they had already said that, but apparently a lot of people hadn't heard that. That's probably going to be very consistent. Let's try something different here. We'll try this one. It's probably how Nintendo games are just going to go from now on. No game overs. It's been a long time since a game really gamed over in the Mario series anyways. You could certainly game over in Super Mario Brothers, but by Super Mario 64, if you died enough, you would just get thrown out of the painting and then be given 3 more hearts, I recall. So there was really no game over there. Although I'm sure it actually said game over at some point in Super Mario 64. I don't think Odyssey had much of a game over. I don't think any of the games after Sunshine had much of a game over. So, yeah. Now, I assume that that does not include there will be no the end. Because that would be very annoying to little kids if Mario saved Princess Peach and didn't get a reward for it, or the game just said there is no end, you can go play again. There'll probably be a new game plus, but there needs to be a the end, you succeeded, congratulations for saving the princess yet again, here's your picture of a cake. Some standard things in a Mario game. But I imagine that will still be there. I don't think they'd get rid of that. Horizon Zero Dawn has updated to version 1.30, which adds New Game Plus and Ultra Hard mode and fixes a few bugs. Which, it's nice to see games get patches, and I kind of wish Horizon Zero Dawn had gotten more coverage. It feels like it's potentially going to be forgotten pretty easily if we're not careful. There's a Taken 7 DLC called Ultimate Taken Bowl coming out in August. Overwatch has updated to reduce the loot crate duplicates and added an improved highlight features, which I assume the highlight features are that you can save highlights and make highlights.
What now?
Here's what we want to do. We want to do, I suppose, this, and then this, and then this, and then in the turn. Evil Genius 2 has been announced for PC, and that is incredibly surprising. Incredibly surprising. Because I honestly didn't ever expect there to be another Evil Genius game. And frankly, I think Evil Genius 1 is still buggy, too. So there's a good news and some bad news, is that unless they fixed Evil Genius 1 and it's not buggy anymore, then they still probably should fix that and get it running. It didn't run, I think, originally on PC, and I don't think it runs now, but I could be totally wrong about that. There also is some just kind of core problems with the gameplay mechanic of Evil Genius 1. At the beginning, you start off building this base with traps and capturing people and brainwashing them and using them as workers, and you're trying to build up a facility. But then the game shifts over to this map worldview where you given missions, and you have to send the people on missions, and you have to get currency. And I don't think the game ever really balanced that right, and that is two very different games in the first place. So,
Bring it on.
so yeah, there's problems, real problems happening with that. And like, if they got rid of the overworld map in Evil Genius 2 and just had base building and all of that, I think at some point in Evil Genius 1, 2, you're supposed to leave your first base and go build a second base, and it's kind of a forced way to make you play the game multiple times, and yeah, I was watching earlier this year somebody play it, and in playing it, they themselves got bored. One of the YouTube streamers that I have been watching, honestly, does seem to get upset and just uninstall things and rage quit a little higher than I think a YouTuber probably should, and that may have been him. That was the one that was playing Evil Genius 1. But if there is an in-screen credits for Evil Genius, I don't know who it is or what it would be. There we go, finally get a victory. Now, let's see, how long have we been playing? 45 minutes for the previous recording. And it's been, let's see, about 20 minutes. So it's been about an hour. And this is, I think, my first victory. He ranked. Maybe my second. So when people come on the stream and tell me that you only need to play an hour and you'll be an hour a day and you'll be legendary ranked, it's like, not with my cards, not with my deck. I've been playing for an hour. I'm not even up to rank 20. I imagine a lot of people playing any game could also lose track of time, and think they've only been playing Hearthstone for an hour, but in all honesty, they've been playing for potentially 6 hours, and not even realize it. Also, people might just be trolling me, saying, yeah, it's real easy to make it to legendary on Hearthstone. We'll see. We'll see when the new expansion happens, when I make decks based on the top meta decks, or just based on winning. I don't think I'm actually going to look at the top meta decks, because with the new expansion, that's not going to make any sense anyways. I'd just be playing cards that are known versus cards that are unknown.
It's time for a little blood.
Because nobody knows what the new cards are. StarCraft Anthology, which is the free one now, not the remastered StarCraft one, won't be getting matchmaking after all. They came back and said, well, if we do that and do crossplay between the free version and the new version, then there'll be a bunch of griefers. It's kind of probably not true. If we're just gonna be really honest here, the truth is they probably just wanted to make people pay for the remastered versions if they want to play matchmaking. Now, for the big tournaments and for people who are going to be playing local, which it still has that local land play like it always did, there's probably not going to be any big change. But this is one of those examples of of a case where they should have just not said anything. Like, if they had simply said from the beginning, we'll think about it, or we're considering all of our options, or we have nothing to announce at this time. That's the way they should have responded there. Let's see. Digital Extreme, which is the company that makes Warframe, has revealed the drop rates for Warframe because of that Chinese law.
Side effects? No.
Every time this happens, though, we can only assume that's the drop rates in China. Drop rates may very well be something completely different in other countries. Open 4 is still in the news, although almost out of the news at this point. But in their return to being able to download Open 4, they have pulled the plug on Liberty City in GTA 5, which it seems now from that perspective that's all Take-Two and Rockstar cared about, was that they were upset with them taking assets from Open Liberty City and putting it in GTA 5, because that is probably something that were Rockstar smart enough and had enough team, they would do themselves and make some money off of. So if that was the only thing that they were interested in, though, I don't know why they didn't just say that in the original cease and desist, or have that original conversation. I don't know why lawyers think they need to send a cease and desist immediately as their first thing. I imagine that's just the first thing any lawyer has ever been trained to do. Is don't have a conversation first. Send the lawyer, the legal team first. Just keep playing here. At least we're getting one thing done. There's a game called Yomawari Midnight Shadows coming out on October 24th for the PS4 and Vita and PC. These announcements are all mixed between the stories. Not very many stories at all. It's a horror top-down RPG as best as I can tell. And then the Pokemon Go anniversary event is happening, so you can get like an Ash Pikachu wearing an Ash hat with Ash's hairstyle, and I think some other things. Let's see. This one, and then this one, and then this one, and then that, and then I don't think he can win this turn. Pokemon Go has reached 1.2 billion in revenue. And then our final news thing is China has now topped 25% of the game market. Now, how you get those numbers seems to be like it's a number you could probably manipulate a lot. And frankly, there's some issues there. It's like tons of Chinese games are not coming to anywhere but China, and tons of, I guess I'll stick with this one, and tons of non-Chinese games are not being welcome or allowed in China. Remember, China didn't even allow game consoles until a few years ago. They were just banned, and they may be banned again. With the potential massive influence of new shoppers who are easily controlled through their government, we may see that video games like movies are given way too much influence and control over. That is to say, video games might start spouting things that Chinese people like or pro-China propaganda outright to get more sales in China. We've already, in a similar way that we have Chinese people, I don't know if it's organizations or government organizations or just actual fans of video games, down reviewing games that don't have Chinese translations, which is not the thing to do. It is, if your game doesn't, if a game you want to play doesn't have your language on it, don't review it negatively. Don't review it positively either. Just don't buy it and then comment directly, tweet or however, email the people and say, I would like to buy this game if you could make it in my language, and show them that people are interested. And once they see that there's a market there, they more than likely will try to get it translated if they can afford the funding at all. If you want to be more ambitious than that, then attempt to translate it yourself and do a fan translation mod, which very rarely do those get cease and desists. That has been what we've done for a long time as far as Japanese games that didn't seem like they were going to come over to America, and eventually now we're starting to see that they see there's enough popularity there that the Japanese games are by default getting real translations and getting sold in the bigger markets. At a certain point, eventually, we, as a video game culture worldwide, are going to have to fully embrace and welcome China into the fold. But we also are going to have to stand our ground to say our Witcher 3 game that is made by a Polish company is going to have Polish things on it, and no, we're not going to get rid of every skeleton in every game. We don't want this to be like Germany, where they're censoring or influencing the decisions of game creators because Germany won't let us have Nazis in games, even though Nazis have been our default bad guys for decades and decades. And a lot of countries want to do a lot of different types of censorship to the point where video games might become nothing if we're not careful. Are we going to have to make a pirate island somewhere in international waters where all video games are made and released? Just so the artist's creation stays the artist's creation. Damage meaning this, and this, and that. And that's it for my whiteboard, so we will now just try to focus on finishing the daily quest, which everybody left. Like, that sucks, because I could really use some friendly challenges right now to finish some of these daily quests and get these victories. I don't want to spend another hour here just struggling for victories. But once I get all of these warlock cards done, we can speed things up a little bit. And see, here's the weird thing about the chat is Walter came on and said hello, and that's fine. I like that. I like when people say hello, even if they don't say anything else. But I'm starting to wonder, has Walter ever said anything besides hello in the chat? Or is, like, here's my paranoid thought, is that potentially anybody and everybody that gets on my chat, that subscribes to my channel, is just a bot. Some kind of canary for spamming. A canary for spamming basically means somebody who says hello and sees if there's activity, but never actually puts any of the spam messages out on that account. But then they have dozens of other accounts that they do send out spam messages on. But you don't know that the spam messaging accounts are connected to the previous account. So maybe that. So I sometimes think that's who a lot of people are. So I really don't have any way to go back and see if Walter has ever said anything else. But I directly asked him, how did he find my stream, since YouTube didn't announce it. Like, the only way really he could have done that is if he had looked at his subscriptions, been subscribed to me, and seen that it was online. Or he's constantly searching Hearthstone on YouTube, or he's was suggested the video by YouTube, which I'd be kind of surprised if YouTube actually suggests many, if any, of my videos. Let's see, this, kill this guy, do this, but he didn't respond, and so yeah, that's no fun. It's no fun when you ask a question, because it makes me wonder if he's listening or if he just hopped on and said hello and left, or what. That's what I really like about, like, Loki, is Loki clearly is a real person. He's clearly listening when he's online. He's clearly responding and having a conversation. If Loki turned out to be a bot, then there's no hope for humanity at all, because Skynet already exists. But a lot of other people, they just get on and they try to troll. I haven't had any trolls lately since I put up the rules. So, and I'm happy for that. I don't want people trolling.
You have been.
But a lot of people just say hello, and then I say hello back, and that's kind of the end of it. Wow, we're finally up to rank 20. And see, we still have 25 of these cards to play. This is gonna take a while. This is gonna take a while. I could cheat, I suppose, and copy out one of my decks and just make warrior cards. Suppose I could do that. I don't know if I really want to spend the time. And so we have about 7 more minutes for this second episode to be 45 minutes long, and I probably will just go long if I can. Like, I would need to play probably 3 more games. If I was guessing. Yeah, I would say probably 3 more games to get everything done. It's also possible that Walter did respond to me in my stupid, I'm just gonna play this to get cards played, chat broke. That is also a possibility. More than anything right now, I want this to go fast. Just keep these cards going. Let's see. Play this in the turn. How many of these are... Yeah, there's some information that this old style of appearance doesn't tell me on Hearthstone deck tracker. One of the things we were talking to Loki about was that he could probably stream his own on his own channel, and as I was thinking about that, if I ever get a second, I feel like I need to do a updated version of just here's how I stream with OBS Studio now, here's the software I use, here's the settings I use. Not so much focused around Hearthstone deck tracker and how to install it. I'll talk about like all of that, but in all honesty, I don't think people need help installing it. I think it installs itself pretty much the way it by itself, and people probably don't need help. Let's see. Dark appearance, light, card theme, light. No, I don't like that. Dark. No, I don't like that. Frost. No, I don't like that. Minimal. Yeah, I don't like that either. Let's see. Rarity card frames. Rarity card gems.
What now?
Red green text. Use metro animations. It doesn't seem like there is the thing I would need to know whether a card was a warrior card or a neutral card. That's what I'm trying to see here. And it doesn't say on the Hearthstone deck tracker anything like that. So yes, on my list, my extremely long list of things I'm plan on doing. Eventually, I plan on doing a newer version of just how to record with OBS, and very possibly it will become my second biggest video ever, and it'll be another how-to video.
I have an axe to grind.
An interesting thing is I started watching Co-optional today, and I haven't finished it, and they were talking about VidCon, and their perspective on VidCon was they took something away from it very different from what I was taking away from it, in the sense that they felt it was full of cult personalities, like people who are desperate for attention, little kids basically, narcissists, and people who have gotten too much fame and don't know how to act like a normal human being. So in a funny way, they're kind of hating on themselves, because VidCon is certainly for Total Biscuit and his friends.
Start running.
Let's see. Let's keep doing this. I'm not sure I particularly disagree with him. I didn't go to VidCon, nor did I watch much footage of it. I just have seen probably 3 different people say 3 different things that all kind of line up about how people who want to be on YouTube are becoming more and more the people that make the terrible videos on YouTube. And I guess it's probably a bias of the observer too. There are definitely people on YouTube who do good stuff, but there are a lot of people on YouTube that do bad stuff and get too many views. It inherently comes down to a form of envy too, is that nobody on YouTube is happy with the amount of views they have. Nobody on YouTube is happy with the ad revenue that they're getting. Clearly that's true. Like, I'm not happy with the amount of ad revenue I'm getting. this, this.
Time for a lot of blood.
Attack here. Attack here. In return. I don't think VidCon really needs to happen. I think that's the exact opposite of what YouTubers need. Is they don't need a conference for themselves where they can separate, and they certainly don't need a conference where they could go and then have a bunch of fans of their shows worship them. They need to be on the street, honestly. They need to how can you say this? They need to be focused on the average person, the person that's not watching their videos. Like, the people that they're trying to reach, the people that they're trying to entertain. Your fans are your fans, and as long as you don't change too much, you won't lose your fans. You need to always be focused on gaining more fans until you're up to PewDiePie levels, and then you can be happy with your amount of fans you have and just live with it. But most people aren't up to that point. So, yeah, I think YouTubers need to stay grounded. They need to realize that there's a lot of people out there who have a lot of different opinions and a lot of different perspectives. The old grannies, the old war vets, the Amish, the people that won't ever even watch your channel, still are people that you might want to consider and not marginalize or think that they don't count. You need to try to have as worldly of a perspective, as large of a worldview as possible, I would say. And that's kind of surprising that YouTube, well, it's always surprising that when YouTube does or doesn't do anything, because they seem to just be this random thing half the time. But it's surprising things like the chat doesn't translate automatically from different languages like Facebook or Twitter does. I think Facebook does that, if somebody's Spanish does that. On Twitter it clearly says translation powered by Bing, and Google can translate things, so why does that not happen? It's also surprising that they haven't really succeeded in having audio automatically translated. They occasionally point people towards community contributing subtitles, but it's nowhere as good. So I don't know if YouTube is just falling behind or what. But we certainly aren't doing everything we could do to embrace everybody. Let's see. What was I gonna do here? I think I was gonna play this first in the turn. There we go. So now we can give a damage guy 3/3 and do this and this and then return. And what's the funny thing is, if he doesn't put up a taunt, I can, let's see, no, I can't quite do what I wanted to do, but whatever. We can do this.
It's time for a little.
We can do this. And we can do that. But I need to play more of these cards, so I'm gonna need to turn things around and let him win a little bit. There you go. There. In the turn. Honestly, I think YouTubers should probably go to PAX if they're gonna go anywhere for video games. And even if you're a YouTuber that doesn't cover video games, PAX or maybe San Diego Comic-Con, but probably I'd say PAX is probably your best bet. Like that strikes me as the one that you should spend your time at if you're gonna go anywhere. Try to mingle with people. Try to mingle with people that don't go to any convention, because that's the vast majority of people. Try to have conversations with your chat. Try to get their perspectives.
Sharp gadgets and steel.
Destroy that.
You cannot stop the cloud.
Do I have anything else to say? I thought I had something to say, but I don't know if I do. Hopefully I'll just play everything that needs to be played.
Made to fit.
See, I could give this guy what he needs, but I don't want to do that, honestly. I'd like to win here because I still need some victories. I'm gonna have to go to casual victories after this. And see, we're 5 minutes over, and I don't know if I really want to make a extra recording, as that is. Like, I think I probably just want to go long here. The other thing with the fireside thing is that I'll have to look at the dates, and I believe it's gonna go maybe to the 10th or the 11th. I'll have to double check. I'm guessing there a lot, but if it goes to the 10th or 11th, it's very possible I'll have well, then I'll have in 3 days, it'll be, I think, the 8th, today's the 5th, and so then I'll have 3 more of those.
May my ancestors.
So, yeah, on the 8th I'll have 3 more daily quests doubled, and then the 9th and 10th I may have a special stream in which I just have 2 daily quests done to make sure I get them all at double. I want to get as much gold as possible. This doubling of gold will probably push me over the 10,000 mark. Now, however, with the new expansion, if I'm going to get 50 card packs of the new expansion, which I am, and then probably going to get 50 card packs of the old expansions, which I'm hoping to do, yes, then that'll wipe me out right back down to 0 gold. So any requests to do arena runs are going to be out the window, which is fine. Like, doing arena and trying to get up ranked, you have to have a lot of time to do both of those, because those things do not work together. Either you spend your time doing arena runs, or you spend time playing your ranked play. And there must be a certain point where Trump and Criterion just get to a certain height or only do so many ranked games per day. And I don't watch them enough to know if this is how it goes, but they must at a certain point just stop, because then they go over to arena plays. And it seems like you probably get more reward for doing arena games than just playing ranked all the time. Yeah, you almost certainly do, particularly if you're going 8 victories on average or more. I would like to win here, but I will take just playing more of these warrior cards. Am I done with the warrior cards, though? Probably not. And Loki said that you get more experience when you win, and you get experience when you play your friends, and I did not know if either one of those were true. So that is certainly interesting. So in this one, I just want to play 5 more warrior cards and then get victory, and then reevaluate how many more victories we need to get and how we can best do that. I think we could play our priest deck. We haven't played a priest deck in a long while. My priest deck was really good, and I think I made some changes and made it worse, but it's still pretty good. It's a shame I couldn't find a way to force YouTube to announce that I was streaming. Not a realistic way, at least. I suppose what I could do is move when things air, but that doesn't seem like that makes the most sense. Like, I haven't looked at my analytics in a while, but I'm fairly certain that the majority of my viewers are still in the United States, so airing things outside of the Pacific Daylight Time or the Eastern Daylight Time or Central Daylight Time, somewhere in the middle. I'm in the Central Daylight Time, so I kind of just think of things around that edge. If I tried to move things over to the European section, that doesn't seem like that would be a smart move.
Armor made to fit.
Let's see. Hit something with 1 if it survives. Back to the slime. And let's see. If I did this, that would still be just 3, so
Strike.
let's do this. Alright, let's end the turn there. That's all I can do. But if I moved everything to air in the morning compared to Central Daylight Time, then maybe that would work. Like, when could I possibly do that? And when would that possibly feel appropriate? Like, when I'm playing something like Bayonetta and it says mature audiences only, it sure doesn't, in my mind, make any sense for that to air at noon. Maybe I would get less competition against things like TV and Netflix and such, but also I think I'd just get less views. And probably the way I run my channel is probably just wrong. I probably should just put things out at when they're ready to come out and get away from the idea of treating it similar to a TV station where you have that prime time slots. I'd love to see more feedback on that. Of course, I need more fans that comment, though. As people could say, yeah, I'd prefer it if your episodes aired at 6 in the morning so that they're always available, or midnight, like they came out at midnight every day and then people could scroll back. I imagine people who are subscribed to a lot of people on YouTube, though, would potentially not see something if it came out on midnight. I personally go all the way back to the last thing I remember, but how many people actually do that? How many people even look at their subscription feed and aren't just looking at the suggested feed, which is the default? That's one of the things YouTube said is, why don't you by default show people the subscription feed? And they came back and said, and I don't know if I particularly believe them, but they've claimed we've tried this many times, and every time it's gotten people less views and less subscribers. Which is odd, certainly. I'm going to do this, 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 and the joint. It's sad to say, but YouTube has some credibility problems. It's like the company you're using, the company I would probably jump ship if it looked like there was a legitimate replacement for it. Just has some credibility problems. By the way, they still haven't let me into the beta of the new thing. I signed up for that, but they didn't let me in, so I don't know if they're ever gonna let me in or what. But the new video manager backend that won't really change anything for the front end, other than maybe videos being easier to find and better organized. But yeah, it's more than just a fashionable hate of YouTube, really. YouTube has done things to deserve its hate. What was that other thing I was going to talk about? I just thought of it, man, and I forget. It's so hard to focus and talk and not have things pre-written down. Only makes it worse. I recently looked. I'm trying to keep an eye out to see if I could get faster internet, but honestly, as far as it seems, there's literally no options for me where I live. Like, nothing at all. I can use the internet I have now, or I can go to a worse internet through DSL. That seems to be my two options, and that really sucks. Rampage, give a damage minion. Let's see. How do we want to do this?
Job's done.
Oh yeah, I was going to talk about PayPal. A lot of stories coming out about how PayPal is an awful company and you shouldn't do business with them. People should have already known this. This has been established fact for a long time. PayPal literally just steals your money. Like, if you're a seller, if you're a buyer, they're a fraudulent company that makes most of their profits selling things on eBay that are probably not legal to be sold on eBay in the first place, because they're importing without paying importing tax, or they're stolen items, or they're performing some kind of scam and not giving you what you really want. Now, that's not every single thing on eBay. It's not even probably the majority, but eBay is a den of scum and villainy, to quote Star Wars incorrectly, probably. And eBay, PayPal is all about making money off of that, and they don't care. Oops. I could have won right there. Alright, I'll get him next time. And they act exactly the way you would expect somebody who runs who runs an organization that at least tacitly condones crime and shenanigans, as they also commit crime and shenanigans.
Who you want me killed?
Darn it.
Job done.
So yeah, for my channel, I'm not gonna ever have a PayPal link. I would never do that. I would never do any business with PayPal if I can avoid it whatsoever.
Who you want me killed?
That's something that I would never fall into, and I highly recommend nobody else do anything with PayPal. Also, that being said, probably in a month or so, I'm gonna probably buy something off eBay and have to do PayPal. But I don't even know if you need PayPal to buy things off eBay these days.
I can't play that.
Execute a damaged enemy minion. Alright, so
Strike.
if I do this and then this,
Who you want me killed?
I should win and be done with the 1 or 2 of the daily quests. If I'm done with 2 of them, I'm done with all of them. So we played 50 warrior class cards. And what does this put us now? Priest or warlock. That's what we need now. So priests here, victories, casual play. We're switching over to casual because we want to get victories quickly and easily, and we need 4 of them really quickly. Is there anybody online? Oh, darn it. What if I cancel? Can I cancel? Doing battle. Doing battle. Darn it. Yeah, I could really use some victories. Easy victories. We're over 10,000 gold. Nice. In fact, we're halfway to an arena run at 85 gold. Where did I get the 5 gold? Will I ever not be at 5 gold?
Anduin versus Anduin. The light shall bring victory. Light smiles upon the just.
I think you get 5 gold like every 3 victories or something. No, you get 10 gold every 3 victories. So yeah, I have no idea how I got 5 gold. They probably do it to irritate you, to manipulate you into
Is someone injured?
playing more, buying more gold. And there we lost one of the persons that I was hoping to play me. Let's see, how are we gonna do this? Give a minion +2/+4. Are we ready to play that? I think we are. I think we're just gonna power up this guy and try to get victories as quickly as possible. Spell damage +2. If I can play all of these, he'll be at like 16 health and 8 attack. Just keep attacking. Now he's got to find a way to kill this guy, or he's just gonna get run over by him, and I won't really have to even do anything. Yeah, that's one way, but by silencing him, he also doesn't get his health back. So now you're in trouble. Because I can now do this. And I can do this. And I can end the turn. Now if he had silenced this guy, I'd be in a bad way, but now I'm actually gonna succeed just fine. So this one has been silenced, which kills that guy's ability.
How many fingers do you see?
However, not as much as he would have liked. So he's playing a silence deck, but I'm also gonna burn his cards going forward.
I've got the beast in myself.
Well, this is not the guy I'd like to play. I kind of need another light spawn or something. Here we go. In the turn. Anybody that attacks this will die.
Let us see if it works.
This imbalance between having stuff to talk about, like, I guess I could have made a secondary list. Maybe I need 2 whiteboards of all the Japanese only games that were coming out, and I could be going through that right now. But this is kind of a semi-regular issue of just constantly needing something, running out of things to talk about. I'll heal that.
Job's done.
My hand is too full.
So that burns a card. Like, Hearthstone takes too much time. Every 3 days, 3 hours. About. That's kind of what it comes down to. An hour to do a daily quest. Alone. And not all of this is tied to victories, but some of it certainly is. You know what? Come to think of it, if I played the Tavern Brawl here, this would be a better move.
Where shall I strike?
So after this game, let's go play the Tavern Brawl, because that's almost a coin flip. It's a better victory than what I'm doing now. Apparently, I've never even played this deck before, because I've got like 0 statistics on this, and now it's at 0% win ratio. So I need a Warlock Tavern Brawl. Let's edit the deck, delete this, and then Warlock, and then let's not go too crazy with this. Let's see, destroy a demon, give me 5. This. Demons I will want is this one and let's see. Maybe we'll do that one. And maybe we'll keep this. What I'm looking for is the nightmare. There you go. I need a second nightmare, by the way. Let's see. I'm not really sure what I should be picking here. Probably doing this really wrong. Let's come back here. Take that one. And we'll take this one and this one. We only have like 3 more. This one. Alright, let's now get rid of that and that and take this. And then let's find Grim Patron and anything with summon in the name. Like a couple of those. Get rid of that. If we can get anything that will summon new things when it takes damage, that would be great. Discard random cards. Let's get rid of things that discard things. Him, definitely. He'll go on forever. Him, definitely. So, are we good? Let's see, do we have anything that discards things? We don't need that. So we'll take this. We'll take 2 of these. So I'm making kind of the perfect deck for this. We need 2 of these. We need that. Echoing ooze. Let's take this. So do I have it now? Do I have the perfect... I could probably replace something else. Let's get rid of that. Put 2 of these. I think that's good enough. Like, we could do Fugan and Stalag and be really crazy, but there's really no reason to. I think we're good. Yeah, I think that's good enough. Let's brawl. See, we've gone about 35 minutes here, so I could have made a second recording instead of just a really long recording. But I will have to start considering that later on. Truth is, I probably didn't say one important sentence for the past 35 minutes. Arguably didn't say anything important for this entire stream. Arguably I've never said anything important in my life. If we want to go down that route, but yeah. We'll play this.
Get it out! Get it out!
And then in the turn. We're already at the maximum here. Fireworks. And I don't know if we're going to get to keep that forever. Because if we get to keep it forever, then at some level we're eventually going to just have the like maximum every single emote is going to have something on it. Let's see. I'm gonna hit this right now.
I am not a morning person.
And then end the turn. If I have 6 more characters, other minions. See, so he's playing a totem save your life function. Let's go here.
I love omelets.
And then end the turn. Actually, I need victory, so I should be trying to win here. I forgot about that.
Elements I like, totems I love.
Yeah, some people are playing this very differently than how I was playing it. Let's see. This.
I can ease your pain.
And then this. And then let's start trying to win here.
Let the dark in.
Job's done.
That's funny, that one went to a -1 on its health. Let's see. Let's go ahead and play this and see what we can do. I think we gotta kind of try to win here. Let's see how this works.
Everyone, get in here! Everyone, get in here! Everyone, get in here! Everyone, get in here!
This Grim Patron works so well on this.
Everyone, get in! Everyone, get in! Everyone, get in here!
Well, I played perfectly and lost because playing perfectly probably doesn't do you that good. Let's try that again. Let's try to actually win this time. Anybody online? Nope. Somebody playing Diablo 3. Normal Act 5, the fall of Westmarch.
Gul'dan versus Malfurion.
Borderlands is like free on Xbox Live
Your soul
again.
shall be
It seems so
mine.
strange. It's been over given away. They're trying to flood the market for Borderlands 3, and I think it's potentially going to turn out to be a mistake. Too many people will be playing the original again to feel the need to play 3. But then again, maybe 3 is not anywhere close to being released. Maybe this time next year it'll finally get a release date. As a possibility. Maybe it's the next Duke Nukem Forever, too. That's also a possibility. Let's see. This in the turn. There we go. It worked nicely. He's playing Jade Idol, which means his Jade Idols will get more and more powerful. So we're down the path where it's just a coin toss. Who's going to take the most damage first? And he's going to try to make me take the most damage. And he's going to kind of fail. Because I can do this now. And as this works, it's going to take at least 1 health away worth of damage. Next turn I can play this and this.
The jungle provides.
Let's see, should I play this or this? I think I should play this. Oops. In the turn. There we go. Turned it around. So unless he can play something, he's dead. Well, he can keep himself alive for one turn. But he's going to have to do something a lot more than what he's doing. See, I guess this and this. Good move. Or Grim Patron. Grim Patron saved the day. So, possible that I lose here, but I think Grim Patron saves the day. Because every damage increases the odds. Save the day. And highly unlikely he'll be able to succeed against this. Highly, highly unlikely. Victory. And this is a little quicker. We're over 100. We're not getting anything special for that. So slightly quicker, but we still need 3 more brawls. And the cards I've picked are actually not designed around a faster victory. There's most definitely a strategy here that would work better than what I'm doing. But whatever. Well, hopefully it won't take 13 more minutes to get 3 victories, but that seems like a tall order. Let's see. Take this one out, and we'll keep that one in. Fight fire with courage? Is that what he's saying? Can't click through this. It just goes away when it feels like it. What's funny is I'm gonna just tit for tat repeat this. That in the turn. Next turn we play this and this. Not the best way to use those two. Let's go with this and this. And then in the turn. Now it's 15. I don't think I'm gonna make it up to 9th turn to use that.
I love omelets.
Of course, the danger here is if I got like Kelth Azul next draw, I might not be able to play it. Summon 2 1/1 Raptors.
I love omelets.
Get it out! Get it out!
Job done.
Yep, and I've won, I think. He needs to reduce it by at least 4 damage. That's 3. he could do 3 damage to me. So Grim Patron might not succeed here. It is a slightly quicker game. Playing this way. And we only need 2 more victories now. And ideally do that in 10 minutes, maybe? Something's weird about the Hearthstone deck tracker. Frankly, the thing I don't think works as much as you would think. But you can notice here that this deck is now back to 0% statistics. Which, frankly, that doesn't seem right. Take this and then just trade 1 coin card. If I play this the first turn, he'll be less likely to
One shot, one
to move forward. But frankly, I think that's not how it's gonna be. Actually, let's do that. Let's play this and this and in the turn. That way it'll do more damage to him and hopefully balance out. Next turn we'll play this, I guess. And I imagine a lot of Druid players are just going to desperately try to do that small amount of extra damage. See, I think probably I would win just going forward here if no new characters were played. Now, at the end of your turn, whenever this minion takes damage, summon a 1/1.
Job's done.
Let's do this. It'd be nice if we could do something like this and just keep on doing the Tavern Brawl and earn some kind of currency or earn some card backs from previous parts of the game. Earn some of the hero phases that cost money. Can't do Kel'Thuzul right now. 2. Guess we have to do this and this and then attack and then end the turn. Well, they managed to kill everything. And see, if they don't play anything, I've won. Maybe I've lost. There's a chance. That was a poor mistake on their part. They should have attacked my face. It would have given them the health that they would have liked. So 5/1/1 things versus 3 for 5.
I am not a morning person.
I think this might be right. Actually, it probably isn't. Just, I may have lost here. close. Close, close.
Well played.
Wow. Got me with a swipe. That was an undeserved victory on their part. Like, yeah. That was undeserved victory if I ever saw one. The one card you needed that would have saved you. So, can I get 2 victories in 5 minutes?
You asked for it.
Probably not.
Your soul shall be mine.
Definitely keep this one. There's still a lot of confusion about when do death rattle things activate, when do active abilities activate. And it seems like active abilities activate immediately, where death rattle abilities activate at the end of a turn, or at the end of a chain of actions at the very least. They don't seem to be instantaneous, which sucks. Because I can imagine a lot of these death rattle things would die, then resummon, and then before the mini Ragnaros had a chance to attack again, he would be back. Is this a card that should be in the actual game as a legendary, though? Probably not, but it would be kind of funny if it was. But I would take it. I would certainly take it as a option. I play it in a lot of my decks, because then it would make your strategy, if it happens to be weak, a little bit crazier, because then you might just get lucky more often. Nobody at legendary rank would play a card like this, certainly, but newer players certainly would. There probably would be some weirdness if newer players could play all these crazy cards that did random things, and then eventually over time, as they became professional players, they stopped using the crazy cards and the game drastically shifted. Let's see. This probably will survive next turn, so if I play this and this, that's probably the best move. This card's not the best, because it has to be at the end of your turn. It summons 1/1/1 imp. And is this mage just looking for like mirror images or other spells? Yeah, I could see a mage doing some major fire blast or fireball damage. This attack in the turn. See, it summons first, and then this doesn't activate and this doesn't activate until this is already done. So active abilities, the lightning bolts here, trigger before the death rattles do. And he's played Grim Patron, which is gonna potentially work out badly for me. Deal 4 damage. Give me that many imps. There we go. I don't have enough mana to do anything anyways.
Let the dark in.
Job done.
What's interesting is Imp will summon, I think, still. No, it didn't. Interesting. I think I've got a victory here. Unless he can do a fireball. Like, fireball would get me down to 7, 3, 6, 9. So in his 7 cards, does he have something that can do 6 damage or even 5 damage with this? He could still potentially succeed, I suppose, as with the Grim Patron.
I wonder.
But if I have to go another turn, I'm probably dead.
Time runs out on me.
Nope, he's running out of time. This is probably going to be a concession. Or victory in general. People so desperate for a win. I understand it, but don't run down the clock. It's rude. It's a waste of everybody's time.
Runs out on me.
Everyone, get in here! Everyone, get in here!
It's interesting. It double triggered the timer.
Everyone, get in here! Everyone, get in! Everyone, get in!
Come on, just 6 more to the face. I can't believe that worked for them.
I love omelets. I love
That is an undeserved victory. Undeserved victory. Again. But I guess that's what exactly what this was gonna be, though, isn't it? Is that there's just not gonna be fair victories on such a random card. So we now know that that's not how they should go. This is definitely a card that should not be in standard or wild play. It's too crazy. For the investment of the 5 minutes of that game, or the 7 minutes of that game, that was a very disappointing end result. It seemed like almost nothing to do with my own personal actions. And inherently, this is why I prefer to play single player games. When they make a game that's like this, it's multiplayer, and you have to balance it so that the players only win half the time. It's not enough. It's not enough for me. It's not what I expect. I expect to win 90% of the time, to close to approaching 100% of the time, not 50.
Ready for action.
So maybe they will someday come up with a co-op collectible card game where you play against AI. I think there is one that's in development, and that certainly would be a bit of a breath of fresh air. Let's see. Is it worth killing these two and keeping this weak? No, not really. This one only powers up when it kills things, so I could have killed this guy with one of my guys and then slowed down the progress of this one becoming stronger. But I think only by a small amount, really. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I got a new battery backup, and it's been charging And I could have used it during that storm, but I haven't found time to turn off my computer and plug in the new battery backup and get rid of the old one. It's a sad statement that this is a pretty high-end battery backup, and with one TV and an Xbox One, it estimates it will only go 24 minutes without power. See, deal 4 damage to minion. Nope. I guess we'll do this instead. Batteries suck, unfortunately. That's just the truth of it. I wish battery technology was a lot better, but there's very little I can do short of just buying more batteries and trying to hook it up to a system that probably can't handle multiple cells, multiple units. And you can't buy battery backups and plug them into battery backups. You shouldn't, at least. 24 minutes is more than enough in my case, though. My power, if it goes out for real and doesn't just brown out and cause the TVs to turn off for a second, if it goes out for real, it's usually out for an hour, and that's way more than 24 minutes, or at least an hour. Come on, one more quick victory and we'll be done. I could have easily done 3 episodes here, but yep. I'm going from APCs, which I've used before a lot because I always go get them just directly from an Office Max or an Office Depot or an Office Store, to Cyber Power, which is rated for more voltages and wattages, something more appropriate for the PC that I'm using now compared to what I typically was using before. So different software, if I have to install any software, different setup, make sure it doesn't set off an annoying alarm when it comes on. If it weren't for the case that I needed more,
I have big plans.
I needed more wattage, a transformer and circuitry that could handle more wattage, I would have just bought a new replacement battery. But yeah, I think my APC was only rated for 500 volt amps, where this is somewhere closer to 810 or 1310. I think it's 1310 actually. Submit an exact copy of this menu at the end of each turn of the turn. Interesting. Let's see what happens here. 8 clones, then this triggers. What's funny is this is a battle cry that happens at the end of the turn. What a weird order to do things. Like, this activates first because it's a battle cry, but it happens at the end of the turn. This happens at the end of the turn. By the way, you can't silence this guy either. Which, from the way it's written, it should be silenceable. You should be able to silence immune characters. Come on, play. We don't need this.
Job's done.
So next turn, 2 turns we played this. Next turn we probably played this. And hopefully get another 2 or 1 mana creature to play. the fact that this is an elemental actually doesn't seem like it makes any sense. Which is probably just evidence that this was a card that they were going to make and they just didn't finish it. Should I draw a card for 2 health? No. I don't think that would be a smart move. We'll see if I win with more than 2 health. Hopefully I win, period. I should, with the Grim Patron next turn. That should change everything in my favor.
What to do?
I will need feedback, or I would appreciate feedback on people who watch these episodes pre-recorded. How they like the idea of some videos being really long and some videos being really short. They're all way too long in some comparison of YouTube videos. Like that's really an argument that's never going to be solved. Is some people are going to think an hour is too long, some people are going to think 15 minutes too long, some people are going to say 5 minutes is just right, and frankly I can't do anything in 5 minutes if I tried. Ooh, that's a well played.
Well played.
You know what I've noticed is people aren't doing the wow with the fireworks very much. Alright. This one.
I am not
And
a morning person.
then this one.
Job
That's
done.
7. That should be enough to save me. Actually, yeah. And highly unlikely they're gonna win unless they can just do 4 damage to my face directly. Which maybe they can. Nope, they can't because they're out of mana. So, about 2 hours, we got a total of 204 mini-rag kills, and that didn't do anything special for us. Oh well. And we've got a lot of gold. It's a shame that there's no way to get more gold. Let's see. It says if we got one more win, we would get the 10 gold. And I don't think that's doubled. And even if that is doubled, that's not worth the time. We don't have the old packs. We don't have the old adventures available for purchase yet. But we got the daily quest done. So unless the double your gold for daily quest ends early, we'll be back in 3 days again, and hopefully YouTube will actually announce that I'm live streaming then. That's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.